Morning folks, what we're going to try and do this morning is do a slightly different video to the previous one, largely because YouTube messed the subtitles up and spelt somebody's name wrong. I'm going to attempt to show you now how to wire up your Planset 105. Planset 105 is the one with two extensions. This is the internal version. I'll probably do a later one at some point showing the external version. So as I mentioned before, if you've seen the previous video, one of the most important things that you're going to need if you're going to be wiring a Planset up are the N diagrams N4507 and N4509. And what they contain the schematics. I'm not going to show you all the schematics, and they also contain actual wiring diagrams. I know there's a bit of a reflection on there from the light, but those are available on a website which I'm going to add in the comments on this video. So with the Planset, depending on whether it's internal, external, whether you've got one or two extensions, does determine on how the strapping is done in the Planset base itself. And so what you would do there is you would remove the Planset base and you would check the straps here to see if they corresponded with what was on that diagram there, on the wiring diagram. You might undo the bottom of your Planset and it might look slightly different. Some of these components might be slightly different, but they all work exactly the same, so there's really nothing that you need to know about. I'm going to screw that back down purely because I'm finished with it. Two things that you will need if you're going to mess around with these things is a nice flat bladed screwdriver and possibly a terminal screwdriver too. The terminals, you could use the larger flat bladed screwdriver, but the terminal screwdriver does make it slightly easier sometimes to connect, to undo the screws on the terminals. I'm not very good at these videos. I tend not to give myself prompts, and I tend to struggle remembering what I'm about to say. Something to do with being what is it, Myers-Briggs thinker, but let's not go down that road because I have my own opinions on them as well. So right, so that's the actual Planset itself. So we'll just move that to one side, and what we'll do is we'll take a look inside one of the extension phones. Now you'll notice this one has two buttons on the top, so the additional bits that you're going to need in the extension phone are a buzzer and the auxiliary switches. If you're only using one extension, you'd only need one of those switches. Of course, if you've got two extensions, it's two for an internal system. For an external system, you still only need one, but like I say, I'm going to cover that in another video. The buzzer in this one is a mechanical buzzer. I have fitted the... take the dial off so I can get the lid on. I have fitted the electronic buzzers in some of my systems, mainly some of the Plessy ones, which once again will be the subject of a later video, because they're totally different to these Plansets. That doesn't seem to want to go back on, but there's a surprise. I think we've got a wire caught there. I think that's why. I need that back on so as I can do a demonstration of how it works for you once I actually get... the other thing is with the Planset extensions, the internal ones, you're going to need a line cord that has more cores in it than the standard 4-way line cord. Now, where you get them from, usually swap meets, that sort of thing, or there might be somebody, if you put a request out on one of the telephone sites, one of the telephone forums that you're on Facebook, you may find that some person has some spare that they're no longer using. I'll just plonk that to one side as well. So what I've actually done with this one is I've got this wired up on a board, and you might not be able to see it very well there. There's the power supply 53. I'm fortunate to have one of those. You can use a 10 volt power supply off an old Wi-Fi router, providing you get the polarity correct. You'd have to check that with a multimeter, or even a 9 volt battery will do in most cases. What I have found is with some of the earlier Plansets, the 9 volt battery doesn't work well with the Plansets that have the transistor switch, which is the very, very early ones. You'll also notice what I've done, I think I mentioned that on the other video, there's a little strip there, you might have to zoom in, I don't know, I'll have to zoom in. What I've done, I've got all my wiring on the front. I suddenly realised that the reason that the strip for the Planset or the phones would be on the front is for quick replacement in a working environment. But for this, it's probably better showing you it this way around. We've got on here, I know the A and B are 4 and 6. The power supply, positive and negative, are at the top there. But it's all shown, it's all actually shown on that diagram, so I really don't need to go through that. The only thing I would say to you is these are BT37Bs, and I think that one's a 36 something or other. Normally both extensions would use the 36. It was purely because that was all I had at the time. I've actually found one of those, but I just can't be bothered to change it just yet for the amount of time I use this. Right, so that's pretty much that. So let's, you know what you haven't done? Never mind, I can't do an incoming call because I've forgotten to bring a phone down with me to do it. But we can show you some of the basics of how it operates once I get things plugged in and get things where you can hopefully see where they are. I'd never make a film producer, would I? I'd have all the actors out of shot. Right, so I'm going to plug that in. Alright, so that's that. Right, so in its idle state, you've got intercom between all three phones. And what you would do is if you wanted to call phone 1, you would press the left hand key, phone 2 would be the right hand key. In the event of you only having one extension, both keys would just ring that one extension. Similarly, oh god, the screwdriver gone on the floor, lovely. At least it didn't impale a dog, thankfully. The phones, the extensions, they've got buttons on. They should be marked main and 2 and main and 1. This one hasn't got a 2 on it because I didn't have a button with a 2 on it. So if extension 1, sorry, wanted to ring the main, it would press the main button. That button's a bit stiff, I'll have to put a new button in there, but you got the idea of that buzzed that. If it wanted to ring the other extension, it would press that one. Similarly, extension 2 would ring the main or extension 1. To make an outgoing exchange call from the main, you press the speak to exchange button, make your call. If the extension wanted an exchange line, it would call the main first. The main would answer, press the extension to exchange key. Once the extension's lifted its receiver up, you'd get the yellow light telling you, alerting you to the fact that the extension was in use. Now I can't remember, I think, yeah, if the other extension picked the phone up, it would be able to hear the conversation. I don't think there's any option for secrecy with that. That's pretty much about it for this one. At some point in the future, I'm going to do a video about how you can get your phones to work using either the collector's net or using a PBX or something. But once again, that's for a future date. I think that's good for the internal Planset. I will go and drag a phone out for the for the future videos, so as I can actually instigate an incoming call. I haven't got anything nearby that I can do that with on this video. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you didn't get too bored. I'm not sure whether I did or not. Bye for now.